Hey guys, this is William with another video for Play-agricola.com's YouTube channel and twitch.tv/play_agricola. Playing another J4, which is the D-Deck expansion tournament game with Wallfly, Astaroth, and Montu. You can check out Montu at twitch.tv/gamermontu. Looking at this, what's good? Lumber Virtuoso. Each harvest, when you have at least 5 wood, discard down to 5 to take a build stables or build wood rooms action by paying the usual cost. So have exactly 5 and there's no cost. Doesn't seem very good. Reed seller, at any time you can turn 1 reed into 3 food. They can buy it from 2. Renovation preparer. For each wood clay room you build, you get 2 clay or stone. So it looks like we got a couple cards supporting a big house, and I think Roof Baluster is a pretty exceptional card for a big house. It looks like we're pretty likely to get some big house card back. So, all right. Site manager. Build a major improvement, play 1 fewer building resource of each required type. So play the well for 2 stone, basically. Not bad, actually. Not bad. I think that's probably pretty good. Build 1 stable for wood. No emissary. Good on this card to get a stone. That's kind of interesting. Greengrocer. The ability to buy grain from Greengrocer I think is probably pretty good. 3 bonus points and 2 food when you get 7 sheep. I just passed a sheep holding card. So bake or fencing, 1 food to use the other space. You don't really want to fence that many times. Wood collector is just a classically great card. We'll take wood collector here. We're waiting for a while to get a game here. And Astaroth finally came and put us out of our misery. Hi, Rallocran. Hope you are doing well today. So, oh, here we go. Oh, this is fun. Food distributor. Get a grain at the start of the returning home phase equal to the number of occupied action space. So the later you play it, the better. Once there are more actions. But even playing this for 8 food. Playing this for 7 or food. This blows borrower out of the water. Like you play this and then people have 8 actions. This seems amazing. What else do we have? Henpecked Husband. Not going to get sucked into playing Henpecked Husband again. Patch Caregiver is a way to get crops sown early. Don't think I need that. I think Forest Trader is pretty good, but I think this Food Distributor looks really good. So I think we'll take the Food Distributor. That card looks really, really good. An amount of food equal to the number of occupied action space cards. So yeah, so long as people aren't doubled up. The only time that you could get less than 8 it would be if people double up somehow. So yeah, that looks really good. And it gets me a grain. So yeah, this food distributor looks really good. So it looks like the plan is big house. That's the plan. With a card like Roof Baluster, try to get 4 stone out of it. When I initially read this, I thought it's one food per room. Yeah, that you had to pay 1 food per room, which I think would still be a fine card. But 1 extra food total for that many stone seems quite good. And like it's kind of optional. Like if you only want to pay 3, you have 5 rooms and you want to pay 3 food, then you would get 3 stone, for example. Wallfly asking for clarification on something she's about to pass to me as well. Card says you can take a family growth action with that person. Wallfly says, I reread it. Okay. Rereading when you have a question is usually a pretty good place to start. Oh man, I'm hungry. I needed to go shopping today, and instead I played Civ 5. Oh, each time you build 2 stables on the same turn, you also get a cattle. That's kind of fun. Especially because we know that Stable Architect is out there. Each time another player takes 2 goods from an accumulation space, you get 1 clay. Boring. Clay is boring. Each time another player uses a food accumulation space, give them 1 grain from your supply to get a bonus point. This card seems like ridiculously difficult to make work in this set, but if you put it into something like if you comboed it with like Morning Trader or whatever, but even Morning Trader would not be enough. You'd really want Morning Trader plus, grain card or something. Master Workman, it's Fence, Major Miner, Sobake, and Sheep. Looks kind of boring. None of these look particularly good. We'll take Stable Milker. If I do like a 5-room stone house, there's always a chance I don't get enough wood to fence properly. So then doing 4 unfenced stables with Stable Architect is would not necessarily be a bad play. And anytime you can get cattle, it's usually pretty solid. I mean, for this to be worth it, you have to do it twice, which building 4 stables is pretty expensive, but if it gives you access to early cattle, and building the stables, of course, gives you a place to hold the cattle, so could be interesting. Um, so sheep agent and pet broker. So sheep agent is like a strictly weaker pet broker. Is that the like they're both in the same pack? Yeah. None of these look particularly good. I think Soldier is a little too expensive. Although with Roof Baluster, Soldier is probably more playable. But having excess wood and stone, it's usually better to just convert those into points directly. Holding a pair of sheep could be fine. So something like Pet Broker. Especially because we just passed this card around, which is Sheep Keeper. So if we can get a pair of sheep breeding and just ignore them the whole game. Yep. Turn a vegetable into 2 sheep. I don't really have a way of getting vegetables. The Sheep Keeper looks like it could be fine. And yeah, I think Forest Trader is actually pretty good. I'm kind of surprised to see it back here. Although I am... Henpecked Husband this late is intriguing. Especially if I am going to try to build like a 5-room stone house. Forest Trader seems quite good though. Seems quite good. So I really just want to get some kind of food engine out of my miners, ideally. Carpenter's Hammer. Build at least 2 wood, clay, stone rooms at once. You get a total discount of 2 reed as well as 2 wood. So you do it once and you get the wood back plus 2 reed. That's quite good. Remodeling, 1 clay for each clay and major improvement you have. We've seen that. Looks fine. Alternate placing 2 wood and 1 boar in the next 4 round spaces. Start each round, you get the goods. Pretty expensive for 3 food, but not bad. Toolbox. At the end of each turn in which you built something, you can build the guilds. I assume by paying their costs, like you don't just get them for free. Stable Yard. When you play this card, get 1 food for each complete round left to play. At any time, you can exchange 1 sheep plus 1 boar for 1 cattle. So the free point is nice. The other text is not really relevant. Clubhouse. 1 food on the next 4 round spaces and 1 stone. So 4. So like 2 clay for 4 food and a stone. Not bad. Potter Ceramics. Each time before you take a bake bread action, you can exchange a clay for a grain. Yeah, so this looks pretty good. Potter Ceramics is a way to get baking, support a baking game. Renovation Company, immediately get 3 clay. You can renovate without paying any building resources. You have to pay 4 wood though. 4 wood seems pretty expensive. Pig Stalker, no thanks. So for me, it's Carpenter's Hammer or Potter's Ceramics. Those are the 2 I'm looking at. Potter's ceramics or carpenter's hammer. Building 2 rooms at once can be kind of difficult, so I think we're going to take Potter's ceramics here. Clay into grain seems pretty good. I was tempted for. I mean, I think it like. Okay, let's compare Henpecked Husband to Forest Plowman that pay a wood to jump from plow somewhere else, right? It seems like it could be pretty comparable to that card if you build rooms, except of course that it's much more. The timing is much more difficult. So. Remember, with renovation company, you won't pay for a wood room, so you won't need as much wood. That's true. Yep, you're not wrong about that. I'm mostly thinking that with Potter's Ceramics, I really want to get a repeated bake card. If I could get that bake at the end of each round that's not a harvest again, that would be awesome, because Forest Trader makes it really easy for me to get clay, and then if I can turn that clay into food, then it's like net. I'm just gaining a bunch of food per harvest or per round, which I can spend on more buying stuff with Forest Trader, for example. But yeah, my occupations look pretty nice, actually. I think definitely thinking that there's a chance I end up with a 4 fence only game, like 1 pasture, 4 4 stables. Yeah. Matsu saying you can't see a card. Get a 404 error. I had this issue the other day, and I was able to find the... tournament game? Yep. Montu says, I guess I'll just take something else. Because, yeah, if you go to the link, we're not saying go to the link, we're saying look at the parts of the link. Okay, what do you guys go over to Montu's chat and see if you can explain it to him? I mean, if you understand what we're talking about. Although maybe he doesn't need more voices. Looks like he made a pick, so it's been passed on anyways. The pile has been passed on. And then Wildfly could say, whoa, you should have taken this. Bengalas says, I haven't played this game for a few years, and I recognize almost no cards. Yeah, so we're playing mostly with the A, B, C, D decks. This is a playtest game. So we're not playing... If you had the game from 2008, or before... if you bought Agricola before 2016, namely, you'll have had a different set of cards. The game got remade in 2016, and so then if you haven't played since before 2016, then definitely almost all the cards will be new. Um, so what we're doing is we're in 2016 there was a new publisher for Agricola, and they made a whole bunch of new cards, and they released like a new base game with different cards than the original EIK in 2008. Um, Usually. So what was I talking about? Um, I haven't seen Forest Clearer or Shaving Horse so far. Probably, yeah, it might be included in the ban list. I'm not sure actually. Um, Work certificate looks pretty good. I think I've seen it before. It was my first reaction. Um, Beating Rod is a way to get a second cattle for Stable Milker. Looks interesting. We've got clay supports as a way to build a bunch of clay rooms. Bottles pay 2 clay and 2 food for 4 points. Seems a little expensive. Play this card if you have at least 1, 3, 4 sheep, you get 2, 3, 4 food. Same applies if you have cattle. Whoa, milking parlor looks excellent for us. Looks like a great reason to go for breeding sheep and breeding cattle. But yeah, work certificate is fantastic. Um, you weren't a fan of the Z-Man set? Oh, I loved that was so that's what we play primarily on this site. We're big fans of that set, and we're actually a little reluctant to switch over. We're mostly just doing this for playtesting. Yeah, I'm a fan of the original compared to this one. Hopefully, Milking Parlor comes back around. Certainly in EIK, there were ways to some of the cards were not very good. Oh, the actual set. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The Z set was, yeah. That set is marginal. We will say, but yeah. So I was referring to Zedman is the publisher. Yeah, exactly. EIK. Yeah, yeah. So we like playing with EIK, and then we've expanded it with EIK with the gamer decks, which G mostly we play with the WM deck, which is G2, the France deck G3, and then G4, G5, and occasionally G6 and G7, which have all been cards that we've play tested and developed online. And so for me, the big advantage of this site, Play Agricola, compared to Boîte de Jeu, is that we can play, like on Boîte de Jeu, they don't even have all the EIK cards implemented, and some of them don't even seem to be implemented properly. I mean, I like G4, G5 a lot, Rallocren, but yes, that has not been published yet. Chris popped into one of my games and mentioned that you has told him next 3 decks will be fit. Well, I mean, when you's doing stuff like suggesting, we have Pet Broker already published, and then he suggests cards like Sheep Holder or whatever. Like, sometimes I think you is. I think he doesn't. He has a hard time keeping all of the cards that have been published in his head, and especially in the ABCD context, I think that's causing problems. I think that's causing lots of problems. Yeah, G4, G5 was also going to get published with the They were thinking about doing like a 10th anniversary version. Now, obviously, we're way past the 10th anniversary now, but so okay. If you ever have this, you can go copy image location. Or what was I doing? It was, how was I seeing it? View image. Okay, miner woodcart. So it's woodcart. Do I want woodcart? His name is pronounced Uwe. Oh, of course, because it's German. What are we taking here? Storeroom, I think probably not storeroom. Plant fertilizer. That seems kind of interesting, although you have to get down to 1. So it's good for vegetables, more difficult to do with grain. Heart of stone. Ooh. If you have room in your house, immediately take your family growth. The 4 food is pretty expensive. But that is kind of interesting, especially with food distributor. I can definitely get the food to play Heart of Stone. Mineral feeder. Start of each round that does not end with a harvest. If you have a sheep in a pasture, you get a grain. So you have to build a pasture, which is kind of difficult. Telegram. Oh, this is the guest person. This is a guest. So do I want woodcart? Or do I want to try Heart of Stone here? I wonder if I can make Heart of Stone work with food distributor. Also Potter ceramics. Only gives the food for the 1 round you play it, right? An amount of food equal to the number of occupied action space cards. Oh, cards. Of course. I don't think about how it physically works. Of course, because these are not... the ones in the middle are not action space cards. Yeah, this returning home phase. But shouldn't it be like 8 food? I guess what it's saying is this is not an action space card. Like the 1 occupation is not an action space card. Is that the idea? Yeah, I know. But shouldn't it happen once for like 8 food? Added rounds 1 to 14 for clarity, but then they took it away. So the text is not on there. So we added text for clarity, but then they didn't have it on here. Okay, that makes more sense. So the action space cards on the left side don't count for anything. I was thinking it was going to be 8 food. Okay, I was thinking it was like a borrower, better borrower. All right. So it works. You lose it, like use it later in the game for the other ones. Yes, 1 to 14. Yeah, I think it can still be fine. We do still have Potter's ceramics. We can still go for a clay oven. Heart of Stone. Maybe we'll not speculate on it and just take woodcart. Woodcart is a very solid card. Yeah, that won't give the food early. Right, exactly. We won't use it in round 1. Right. Hardware store, wood, clay, reed, stone. Not a bad action. Cob. Start of each work phase. You can exchange 1 grain for 2 clay and a food. So this is like, this interacts with Potter ceramics to get us more. It's like a loop a little bit, although it only happens once. Farm building, each time you build a major improvement, 1 food on the next 3 round spaces. Pretty expensive. Clay and reed is quite expensive. Fire protection pond, pretty expensive. Well, not expensive, it's just too slow. Claw knife. Each time you use it, take 1 sheep, accumulation space, Started each round. I need to have a pasture, which I probably won't for a while. I'm probably going to take Goblet. I like Goblet. I think the fact that it gives food is pretty cool. I think I like Goblet. For me, I just need to play it in but before round 3. If you play it in round 1 or 2, I think it's like doesn't have a huge impact in this format. Okay, so the action space cards are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 those round cards, which is funny because these 6 to the left are absolutely action space cards. I probably, since this card's been printed already, I probably need to post about it in the forum because people don't really look at the CIC for cards that are already printed. Would card getting played this game? Yeah, I hope so. In the revised edition, they are built in the board based on. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Yeah, again, so this is where not playing with the game physically makes things more difficult for me. Don't think I'll play Renovation Company. So the thing about Toolbox is I can buy resources with Forest Trader, although buying stone is pretty expensive. I think we'll probably take Remodeling. I think Remodeling looks like it could be quite good this game. And then Milking Parlor. Yeah, I like Milking Parlor. I think Milking Parlor could be pretty cool. We have a game that if we can pull off a good Milking Parlor, we could have a pretty nice game. So the thinking is, yeah, so Stable Milker gets me, so I build 2 stables, get a cattle. And then there was another card that could give me a cattle. Hopefully we'll get it back. So Sanswa is saying their wooden tab thing. So Sanswa is saying the same thing you guys are saying. Yeah, so so I guess we've always played that they have a set order, like we haven't randomized the order, but theoretically you could randomize the order for cards like Astronomer, that kind of thing. But yeah, basically our plan is we play Wood Collector, we play Pet Broker to hold pair of sheep, and then we just keep playing occupations throughout the game so that we can hold 7 sheep at some point for our sheep keeper. I passed Beating Rod when I picked Milking Parlor. Oh, did I? I didn't look at it closely enough. Well, I can always build 2 stables twice. I think that's probably going to be doable. I can have a really good engine in this game. A really good engine. Potter Ceramics, getting me a bunch of food, like turning clay into 5 food, and then the fact that I can buy clay at 1 food each. Someone is going to have a nice game with Renovation Company and clay supports. Yeah, well, there is that card with the spend 2 reed less. If you buy 2, you spend 2 reed less and 2 clay less, right? So the rooms are going to be pretty cheap. Yep. Yeah, someone's going to be able to build a bunch of rooms. Sansel says my chat on Twitch isn't working. Oh, I should delete my comment then, since it was kind of ignorant. Heart of Stone came back. Do we try to make Heart of Stone work? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we might not play it, but the other two cards look pretty not really playable. 2 food for a guest is not really playable, and Blade Shears needs a pasture. And I'm not really planning, because I'm going to be able to hold animals on my pet broker, and because I'm going to be able to hold cattle on my stables, I'm really not planning to build pastures until very end, like the very end of the game. Oh no, my number of subscribers went down. That means somebody has to click resubscribe with their Twitch Prime. 2 food for a guest and a point isn't playable. I think the card is fine if you play in defense twice. It's hard to use because of the requirement. Yeah, I'm not really planning defense twice. That's the issue. That is the issue. So we start third. So we get cheap occupation in round 1. Looks good. So wood collector looks fun. Unless we want to go for our buyer right away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, wood collector generically. I have forest trader is the card that I'm thinking of. Could play forest trader right away, but honestly, I'd be pretty happy playing goblet with my second move here. Especially, I think if you're third or fourth in round 1, goblet seems like one of the best. Like, okay, it's no private forest or whatever, but you don't really want, like, someone in seat 1, someone who's already first could play private forest totally justifiably, but someone in seat 1 would not really want to play goblet in round 1. They would want to play goblet when they have a chance to get it, when they're not just automatically giving away start player. So I kind of like goblet as a round 1 start player card. But yeah, getting my occupations out for work certificate, of course. Work certificate means that whenever there's 4 clay on the 4 clay space and I take 3 wood, I also get a clay. So I should just be able to get like a ridiculous amount of stuff. Private forest is in revise is awful. The 1 oc requirement is rubbish. Already not that strong a card since 2 food in. Yeah, 2 food in stage 1 is tough I think it's tough if you're not Reedstone food into Reedstone food. I think probably the fact that you have to play occupation and not take Reedstone food actually matters. Because if you take 2 times Reedstone food, then that covers your private forest food right there. Astaroth plays Digger Operator. 2 goods from an accumulation space, you get 1 clay. You just can't, with private forest, you can't rely on also playing a ton of occupations. Because if you're playing a ton of occupations, right, then that makes it a lot more difficult, of course. Wallfly is playing a clubhouse. Oh, I should rearrange the farms. Because I'm going to have a hard time keeping track of who's who otherwise. Especially because I definitely thought I was white just now. I'm used to being white. The Digger Operator. Yeah, random incidental clay is not great. Not great. Really nothing I want to do, so I guess I just take 2 clay. Go Digger. So Wallfly took 3 wood into Clubhouse right away. That's an interesting start. Really interesting start to me. Huh. I mean, 4 food this early is a great action, but you've given up your entire round 1. I don't know. See what she takes. I get to go second next round, which is nice. Someone else has to take 2 clay, so it's a difficult interaction. Right, I see. If you play it before 2 wood, 2 clay gets taken, then you get 2 clay, and then, yeah, right. Then you can first fireplace. Interesting. Shall I keep playing occupations, or should I take 2 reed? I could play occupation forest trader and then start buying my reed. I think that's what I'll do. I could also play sheepkeeper here, since I do want to play sheepkeeper, or pet broker is the one I guess I want to play. But I think we'll play forest trader here. And forest trader says whenever I take wood or clay, I can also buy. Mostly I'm going to use it to buy reed, is the plan. Take 3 wood, buy 1 reed for food. Which is good because when you're taking wood and you also want to get reed, so you can build wood rooms. Also, I should pick up my wood. So yeah, I'll probably play goblet with my second move. Depending on what. If 2 reed comes back, I'll probably just take 2 reed. But yeah, Montu takes the 2 reed. Okay. And I won't expensive occupation. Oh, Wallfly's going to start player again. Alright. So if Wallfly is going to start player, should I play sheepkeeper here? Or not sheepkeeper, pet broker? Play this card. You get a vegetable or 4 wood. So she just paid a reed and she got 4 wood. Okay. Well, I should definitely go for the first fireplace, and sheep came in round 2. So I actually think playing pet broker here is fine, because I get the food back from the pet broker itself. Yeah, this is where we could talk shit about Juve if I remembered the name of the other card, but I don't. So yeah, definitely looking at making a fireplace and getting some sheep breeding. Take your wood off the board. Oh yeah, good point. Thank you. Thanks, Sid. Canvas Sack says no occupations. That's why. Okay, so we'll play the fireplace here, because we don't want Astaroth to get it, obviously, and we need the feeding. So we eat 2 sheep and we breed 2 sheep, so we're looking pretty good so far. Yeah. Oh, Major Minor's not out. Oh, whoops. I definitely thought Fences was Major Minor. Whoops. Do I want a RNG goblet here? That would really upset people if I RG'd Goblet, right? I could just start player Woodcart. You know what? Playing Woodcart here is pretty defensible, I think. Where's Woodcart? I minor Woodcart. I minor Woodcart. Oh, whoops. Oh, it costs 3 wood. Pass back, please. Whoops, 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 whoops. Where is Woodcart? I just closed it. I was going to show it on the board. Yeah, 3 wood. It costs 3 wood, not 2 wood. Yes, I could just take... Yes, and that's what I did last time too, I believe. Whoops. That's on me, guys. Okay, RNG Goblet picks up clay and builds the fireplace. Yes, yeah, RNG Goblet does not seem good, so I'll just play Potter's Ceramics. I think that's fine. And have 2 wood on in my supply. Yeah, I thought Woodcart was 2. Forgot it was 3 wood. So we'll go ahead and play Potter's Ceramics here. That's something I want to play anyways, so... So now what we're hoping is that Heart of Stone can activate for round 7 Stone. So Family Growth round 6, round 7 we play Heart of Stone somehow. Seems difficult to do, but... Why? Why, Astaroth? Why? 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 I just played Pet Broker. Why? Why? You're never getting the sheep. You're never getting the sheep. Not in a million years. He wants the pasture. Yeah, I know there are cards that were activated off pastures, but like first action pasture here does not seem good. Because all the cards that say like if you have a pasture get a sheep or whatever, he's not going to be able to activate it in round 4. So it means I have to take 2 sheep here. And that means I need to pick up another 2 food next round. If I want to keep a breeding pair. I'm guessing Astaroth also maybe didn't read Pet Broker and didn't realize I was going to do exactly what I just did. That's possible. Or maybe thought I would be greedy and not take the 2 sheep because I really need the 3 sheep action. Really would have much preferred to get a 3 sheep action, but Basket Maker's Wife. When you play this, you immediately get 1 reed and 1 food. At any time, you can turn 1 reed into 2 food. Hiding animals in grain. Oh yeah, yeah. That is a weird one. That's for sure. Well, this kind of is a huge, gigantic, massive pain to have to do, but totally got forced into it by Astaroth, so that's a thing. Oh well. Then Astaroth is going to play Equipper. Yeah, this card seems pretty good. Seen people use it pretty nicely. But 4 wood getting passed all the way around. And 2 reed. I'd be so strong with Woodcart. Yeah, it would have been quite good. Glad I took Woodcart. Like, Montu is complaining, but he gets to take 4 wood and double build in round 4. And probably not even double build round 4, because Wallfly is still 2 actions away from building a room. So that means Montu gets the first room double build round 5. Like, oh no! Feeding would become a bit of an issue, but I mean, Reedstone food is 3 food in a stone action space, which is not bad with Basket Maker's Wife, so. If I really wanted to upset people, I could start Player Goblet with my second move. Ooh, that is not what I expected to happen. Well, I'm pretty sure I should take 4 food fishing. Like, Wallfly is probably going to take the wood, right? I would think. Wallfly does like the reed, but yeah, I agree with Wallfly. Not what I would have done. Wallfly's miners are really good. Oh, Wallfly goes for the 2 reed. Well, I could take wood here, but I think I just need to breed sheep. So I'll take 4 food and have 4 sheep. And now oh. That's fine. Oh, it went from me all the way back to Wallfly, did it? That was weird. Yeah, that was weird. There's a weird design idea that percolates revised that clay is more valuable than wood. All the miners with dual costs have lower clay costs than wood for some reason. I think part of it is you've I guess I should say it properly. I think part of it is the enforced deck structure. So like the enforced deck structure says we have to have so many miners with this cost and whatever, and like yeah, maybe they play a lot of smaller sized games, and that's why. Because like in 2-player games, clay is pretty hard to come by, right? Astaroth played Carpenter's Hammer. Likely lining up a 6-wood action. Like Clubhouse, probably the idea is that miners aren't built primarily for 4-player, and clay is really scarce at 2 to 3. Clay is really valuable at 2 players, yes. Yeah. It seems like they maybe don't play a lot of 4-player games. And then renovation prepare. For each new wood clay room you build, you get stuff. Alright. Well, if they want to let 6 wood fall into my lap, I'd be pretty happy. But I have a feeling that Wallfly will start player into 6 wood. She's usually pretty reliable to do that kind of thing. Yeah, Montu didn't take 3 wood to double build. I wonder if he got the clay supports combo. I mean, I don't know. I was thinking about the Carpenter's Hammer, but it's in Astaroth's hand, so clay is reasonably 4 players. The only, yeah. I like 4-player games because it's got the Reedstone food action space, and I think that makes the game a lot more interesting. All right, we can start playing the game now. Hopefully. Take 3 wood and buy a reed. Three wood, buy a reed. Five plays the same amount of clay, but someone is usually forced to build clay rooms. Interesting. I could have start playered to play my wood cart or to play my work certificate. Actually, I would like to get all of these cards out. Alright, what's going on, people? This game has been like really, really slow. Really slow. Work certificate. Each time after you use an action space. Oh, I see. So you immediately get it. So I could take from the 4 clay and the 5 clay. People don't allow takebacks. I mean, I'm not playing this like it's any more competitive than a normal game. I'm just playing this to playtest the decks. I'm not taking it particularly seriously. But yeah, I could start player work cert here. and take a take a clay or whatever. Wildfly is going to start player again. Hayloft Barn. 4 food on this card. Each time you obtain at least 1 grain, you also get 1 food from this card. Once it's empty, you get a family growth even without room action. Okay, so now Wildfly needs to start getting grain somehow. Alright, so I could play an occupation here. I could play something like Stable Milker. I think probably I should just take the 5 clay and buy a reed. I have a feeling Nathan's in chat because Unknown just typed Imba card, and that tells me that's either Nathan or my friend Tony in Japan. I can hear Montu Salt from here, yeah. Generally, my experience of 4-player clay is abundant and food is easy, so it's all about build and family growth. Wood and reed are the choke points in 3-player food and 3-player super tight, or leave them more free later. Interesting. This is pretty entertaining. I mean, I feel for Montu. I get it. It's frustrating when you're last all the time, and it really sucks. I wonder if I should buy a stone at some point so I can play the clay oven. Clay oven's quite good for me with Potter ceramics. I have 1 more wood coming in, so I can play the wood cart and still build a room. I do have my milking parlor, although I ate the sheep. I would kind of like to let the sheep get up to 4, and I kind of want to play milking parlor once I have cattle as well. Monty says, deep think here. He's pretty salty. You know what? So I regret to say I have not played as much. Well, I did originally, like when I was starting out, I would play more 3-player and 2-player. And actually, if you look at the very first tournament on Play-agricola, it was a 3-player tournament. And I wonder if that was a function of how many people were on the site, that it was like very difficult to ever get 4 people online at the same time. But if you look at that first tournament, they played 3-player as their format. So it was obviously the standard before. Sansol asking me questions in chat. Sansol, you got to ask questions in Twitch chat. I will only accept questions in the form of Twitch chat. I need those metrics, you know. Yeah, so if you go back and look at that first tournament, it was before I played on the site a lot. It was a 3-player was the standard format before people decided they liked 4-player better. And I agree. I like 4-player. I like the Reedstone food space. It's very fun. First fireplace was a game-defining move. Yeah, and you know what? Baking is a strategy that is extremely bad without cards. Yeah, I think it opens more paths as well, generally. All right. So Astaroth is going to try to double build, so I'm not worried about competing for my double for build, although I kind of like the idea of playing start player woodcart here. Four player just allows for more creative play. Yeah, I think that's what we're getting at ultimately. So I could play my woodcart here, and if I play my woodcart, then I could stable milker on family growth, or stable milker next round, or I could just take the 4 wood with this move. I'll just take the 4 wood. 4 wood is good. And you know what? Buy a reed. Eat a sheep. Buy a reed. Yes. No, eat a sheep. Buy a stone. I think that's what we're going to do. Eat H, buy S. There we go. Yeah, I think I like that. And then I can clay oven and get 5 food, and then I can still breed my sheep. Yeah, I think sheep sweeping is probably a good move more often than it actually is. Like, it's probably better than it's actually used. But people don't generally like using it because it's such like a, I don't know, it's like kind of annoying. It's like, especially online when you play with people like hundreds of times, and it's like kind of frustrating if you're constantly screwing each other over. So we do generally play nice. Okay, so Astaroth has to pick up Reed in order to be able to build next round. And Astaroth would like to double build 2 wood, clay, stone rooms at once. You get a total discount of 2 Reed. As well as... Okay, so... Can double build so long as he gets 1 Reed. So 2 Reed or Reed stone food. And I can't block them. People are a bit too touchy with blocking online. Yeah. Yeah, I mean in 2-player it's like more direct. Like if you're blocking someone, you're it's like just straight up you're helping yourself. Whereas in a 3-player game or 4-player game, when you block, very often you're hurting yourself and one other player, and then theoretically the other 2 players are gaining. So that's a reason that people don't like blocking generally, because of that interaction. Oh, Astaroth didn't go on start player, so I still have time to go on start player. Want to playing hardware store. Cool. Okay, so we can still start player woodcart or start player work certificate with our second action. Or start player goblet. Honestly, goblet has only a 25% chance of screwing us over. Should I do it? Should I start player goblet? No, I'll obviously play woodcart. I want woodcart out. On the high side for blocking, there are a lot of 4-player games that are really just 2 to 3-player games. It's fine to help people who are doing badly, encouraged even by the incentives of the game. You play 2 players with open hands. Interesting. Would you draft when you do that, or how do you usually do 10 minus 3, or what's your normal? Or draw 7 with a mulligan, or... Alright. Well, I have to start player here. And you know what? I have woodcart in hand, so let's just play woodcart. And then I can build a room. And second action, clay oven. Or build a room. First action, build a room. Second action, yeah, second action, clay oven. Seems fine. Normally without open hands, but then show hands. Oh, okay. So really, the only thing you're revealing is the first card. Because otherwise you would see every single card. Because when you draft with 2-player, you know exactly every card except for their first pick occupation, first pick minor, right? Although I sometimes draft 2 at a time for variation in 2-player. Okay. Astaroth builds a cooking hearth. Astaroth is no longer able to build a room, so I don't have to first action build next round, is what that means. Right? So that means I can first action clay oven to secure my feeding. Montu will then reno Basket Maker's Workshop, I think. Hard to say how Montu is planning to feed. Certainly the food seems a little tight in this game. Don't play much 2-player, get enough. Oh yeah. That's fun. It's Sid, are you in Lumen Bay Area or are you like LA area? Because I'm actually coming back to the Bay Area in the end of March, coming down for another wedding, so we could maybe do a meetup or play or something. Yeah, so my second action build room is safe, so I think we clay oven here. Turn a clay into a grain and bake for 5. Bay Area till June, but I'll be back in LA after that. Lumen is in LA. Oh, okay. Yes, use my Potter ceramics to bake. I also kind of like occupying the major minor space because people really need to get their feeding engines out. So this seems good. Doing this seems pretty good. Astaroth plays clay supports. I keep seeing minors and assume that he's doing it on start player, but Equipper has this amazing thing where you get to take wood and play minors at the same time. It's pretty good. So clay supports plus carpenter's hammer is a nice combo. Yeah, we could try to figure something out. I'm down there for a wedding again, so, and actually a bunch of my friends will be down there, so we'll see. I have to figure out what I'm gonna do when I'm down there. Still to be determined. I've got my flights booked, but otherwise, I've got my Airbnb for. We've got our Airbnb for the night of the wedding booked, but otherwise it's like unplanned. So okay, so clay supports. You save. Do you save on everything? Is that the interaction? So he's going to build 2 clay rooms at once and pay 1 clay, 2 stone, and 0 reed. What's up? Pass back, sure. Yes. EST indeed. 1 clay, 2 wood for 2 clay rooms. Yeah, that's quite cheap. Yeah, nice. Nice. She wants to start player again, says Montu. That's fun. Yeah, so I think probably what we need to do is make sure that Astaroth has a really hard time growing. But yeah, I have to say Astaroth looking pretty good, although, you know, we have to probably pressure him a bunch. So I'll go ahead and build a room here. I will not build any stables. I want to build my stables after milker is out. So build a room, feed 4, breed sheep. Any stone providing cards in the draft? I love mansions. I have Roof Baluster. Yeah, I'm pretty happy I first picked it. Yeah, there are not too many cards in this set that provide bonus points per room, right? It's just like if you have more rooms than family members is a really recurring theme that I've seen at the end of the game. So like you can have 5 rooms and 4 family members for 4 bonus points, for example. But effectively, it seems like they're pretty similar because why would you ever want to pay all the resources you pay for the bonus and instead of just family growthing? Chief is still in the set, as is Half Timbered House. Don't think I've seen either of them yet. Well, my wood card is out, and we buy reed at one food per wood grab. So definitely, I think the plan is 5 rooms here. Get stable milker out before our next family growth, so that we can start holding a pair of cattle for a decent milking parlor. We can get a ton of clay basically whenever we want with remodeling. So maybe build one more wood room and then build a clay room. Farm building. This is Wallfly playing on family growth. Each time you build a major improvement, 1 food on each of the next 3 round spaces. Well, if you can have a 9-room stone house. Yes, I cannot have a 9-room stone house though. Astaroth maybe will go for that, but not me. If we see Astaroth just hoard wood or hoard stone the whole game. So Astaroth actually can build all 3 rooms at once, right? If he wants to with his next move. Mining Hammer. Play this card, you get 1 food. Each time you renovate, you can also build a stable without paying wood. So you pay 1 wood for 1 food, and then you get 2 free stables. Looks like fun. Yeah. The problem with those cards is you always want like a Stonehouse payoff card as well. And the Stonehouse payoff cards, like it's difficult to get enough stone to make it work. Montu building the well. Go into twitch.tv/gamermontu and type play ag well, please. Actually, I should do that. Although Montu will tell me I'm street sniping if I do that. So I can't do it, but you guys need to do it. Hard to beat a 12-room stone house. Yeah, what's that? 36 points right there. First pick, probably have to take sheep, right? Because if I don't take the sheep, Astaroth will. Because, you know, Astaroth. Build a room is safe, so. Alright. 3 sheep it is. And then on family growth, we will play. I guess I can remove wood cart now. Let's hide it away so I can't see that ugly non-image. I don't wish to see it anymore. Probably just play work certificate, although the fact that we don't get to use it in this round kind of stinks. 39 with family members, just hit all the minimums, you get to 46. The thing is, if you have a 12-room stone house, well, 12-room stone house, I guess, yeah, you have enough space for 2 fields and 4 pasture. Needs some reno help, though. Yeah. So we need to start taking wood. Okay, we finally grown our family. Now it is time. Now it is time to build more rooms and family growth. This is just distracting. No, this is good because the game's slow. I need to be distracted, guys, or else I'm going to be really bored. because this is taking forever. You know what's fun? Work certificate is going to almost say, not quite, but it's going to almost say whenever you do an action, get a grain. It's kind of like that. Or get 5 food or 4 food. So I think I should try to get the stone oven just because the bake action from the stone oven is going to be pretty good. Don't think I fed. Yeah, I baked. I baked 1 clay to 5 food, and then I fed 4, and then I just took 3 sheep. And I added 1 sheep here, and then killed 2 of them for another 4 food. I did feed. Wallfly plays a major joinery. I did kill sheep, yeah. So then we family growth, and I will go ahead and play work certificate here. And there's unfortunately nothing I can immediately take, but there should be 2 clay actions I can steal from next round. So that's good. Let's take a look at work certificate. This is a pretty late work certificate. I usually like to get it out way earlier than this, but I did kind of set up my feeding engine, so that's okay. That's okay. So what we're trying to do now is we're trying to get to 9 wood and 2 reed, which is enough for 2 rooms and... Or sorry, a room and 2 stables, and activate our stable milker. Food distributor is starting to be an option as well now. If only your food had been a bit better last stage, you could have gotten it out before wood cart. I agree, it should have come out earlier. Usually, it's a well. The fact that it can immediately activate is pretty nice. Hi, Payne. Oh, I guess he's not in Twitch chat. He's in this site. So, okay, so I was saying I've been playing, I started playing a little bit of Civ 5. I like playing with, we played now, it used to be No Quitters mod, but now it's called, now we play with the Lek mod. And I've liked watching Baba Yetu, and I think it was mostly Filthy Robot, actually. I think he was already kind of popular for other things, and then he started playing Civ 5 with the NQ mod, and that kind of made it really popular, helped the group grow a lot, and so that's how I found out about it. And so me and Nathan and other people, we started playing with Civ 5. We started playing with the... we played a little, like, just local multiplayer, then I joined the NQ group, so played a lot of games in like 2014, 2015, I guess. Played a lot of Civ. Haven't played so much recently because it just like sucks up your whole day. But I played here Montu setting up a 6 wood action, quite nice. But I played one game last night, which went really badly because I was next to this streamer who's really known well, he's really good, but he also goes war a lot. So it's like, you just know I have to prepare to get invaded. So then I fought off, like, I didn't get invaded, but the fact that I had to commit so much to not getting invaded meant that I didn't really have a chance to win. But then this afternoon we played and we scrapped turn like 70 or whatever, but at that point it was already really clear that I was way ahead, which was kind of fun. Brewery Pond. You get a grain and a wood when you do stuff. Wallfly builds a stone oven, so no stone oven for me. So we'll go on the 4 wood space very happily. Get +2 wood with our wood cart. Buy a reed. And work certificate, steal a clay. Civ takes too long to play. Yeah, it's a mod. So I play. It's the No Quitters group, and they play with the Lek mod. But yeah, they've been modding. People have been modding Civ 5 for ages. Yeah, there are a ton of mods, and the Lek mod is a really popular one. Astaroth plays Tumbrel. 1 food for each stable you have after you take a sow action. Okay. Sure. Oh, Astaroth is setting up double growing, I see. It's called LEK, L-E-K mod. I'll type it in chat. But yeah, and then there is a pretty vibrant Civ 5 community, multiplayer community on Twitch. You know, Baba Yetu is probably the biggest streamer, and he's fun and he's great at the games. I like watching Baba. What am I doing? Seems like a good question to answer. I should know what I'm doing in this game generally. Seems like a good plan. I need food. I do need food. Well, I guess I can eat 2 sheep. So eating 2 sheep is not so bad. I could take 2 wood again, or I could reedstone food. I think I reedstone food instead of the 2 wood. So that way I can eat 1 sheep only. I will do another room. Yes, I will do another room. Sorry, I was planning out my feeding is what I was worried about. My name Poppins, you're late. Actually, go to Montu's stream and put it in there because he's the one that built it. Oh, work cert. Oh. That's right, thank you. I'm talking to you guys. Mineral feeder. If you have at least 1 sheep in a pasture, you get 1 grain. So this is the whole reason Astaroth built a pasture in round 3. And it's like, so I think what I'll do is I'll play Stable Milker with my next move. And then we should be able to trigger a pretty nice food distributor in round 10. Because boar should get taken, sheep should get taken, family growth will get taken. We could maybe do Reno ourselves. Reno cooking hearth upgrade. Or Reno remodel. Reno remodeling seems pretty nice actually. And build a clay room. Looks like Montu is planning to build a clay room. So what he's probably deciding on is, should I build a room with this action or should I first action build a room next round? Because if he first action builds a room in round 10, then he can't get jumped for family growth in round 11. So I personally, I guess I don't want him to build. I want to be able to build myself. Well, no, I guess I want him to build so that I can build next round. Because I can't build this round anyways. Because I want to get my stable milker out before I build again. Montu does decide to build. Alright. Nice. So then I'll occupation stable milker. Eat a sheep to pay, and then eat 2 sheep in the harvest. And yeah, I think food distributor, I should be able to get a pretty good action, like 3 food and a grain or something like that, or 4 food and a grain. Yeah, there's nothing else in particular I should do here, so I think we just go ahead and stable milker here. 2F2H to feed. And then we've got 3 actions to activate work certificate on. Astaroth, family growth, witches, dance floor. This card counts as a field, an occupation, and the fireplace major improvement. So I guess the idea is you can return it for a cooking hearth. Counts as a field for prereqs, but it's not a field tile, and I'm pretty sure the scoring category is field tiles. If Montu doesn't start player here, I will consider start playering. To get family growth in round 11. Yeah, Wallfly shouldn't build anymore, but Astaroth could definitely build some more. Do I have the first action build? That kind of stinks if I do. Oh, I should highlight my stable milker, sorry. Montu plays. Start player Forest Well, it looks like. Alright. So I won't first action build. If Astaroth wants to first action build, I'll let him, but or second action build, I'll let him, but I won't build with my first action, definitely not. We'll go ahead and very happily take another wood grab, plus 2 wood, and then we can buy some resource, and buying reed seems good. I think we're just going to keep doing that, and we can work certificate, snagging a clay. Buy R snag C. You only score for fields on farm in revised. I see. Montu plays major minor pottery. Field tile versus field is a fine way to put it as well. Yeah, I don't know where I was reading a discussion, but it was about how all those things interact. Well, Basket Maker's Workshop's the only thing left available. And it wouldn't be the worst thing for me to build, but I think I'm going to go ahead and activate my stable builder here. Or my stable thing. Room and 2D. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Forest Well. Good point. Good point, Mine and Poppin. I missed that. So getting 3 sheep next round would be pretty good. Probably be fine with doing 3 sheep as my first move. Montu likely has to Montu will first action family growth. So then Wallfly maybe start player to set up around 12 move. Or else we might see Wallfly. No, she can't Reno here. I'm not sure what Wallfly is going to do. Wallfly is trying to activate her family growth even without room thing. You know what she needed? She needed that card that let her buy a grain for 2 food each time. And then that would trigger the Hayloft farm each time. So you'd be paying 1 food for a grain and then eventually be getting an empty Hayloft barn. Yeah, that would have been a good card. Although I guess that one is only rounds that don't end with a harvest or something like that. And it seems a little expensive, a little difficult to make work, but it's kind of cool. My 4th imp. Um, 1, 2, 3. So I could occupation here. Could take 3 stone. The stone is only really good for the basket maker's workshop. I guess it works for a roof baluster as well. Could plow a field, but plow is taken. Could just take 2 sheep here. Don't know if I really want the stone. Potter's ceramics miner. What I think you're talking about? Are you thinking you're chatting in Montu's stream? Because Potter ceramics miner. Oh, you're talking about this. Oh yeah, as a way to get grain. Oh, of course. Sorry, I missed. I was a couple steps behind there. 4 food traveling players maybe is fine. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to do with this move. I am confused. Getting food seems fine. Why 4 food traveling players over so big convert grain to 5 food? It would use a clay. I don't know. 4 food versus, like, it's basically, do I want to buy a clay for 1 food? I don't know. Seems okay. I'm also kind of thinking I might want to reno this round, and if I reno this round, getting 1 clay is pretty easy if I have 3 clay, but of course it's more difficult if I have more. Wallfly first action going for the plowing. Yeah, I need to start getting on plows. That's going to be a problem for me. And I can work certificate, snagging a clay. Oh, I could actually work certificate, grab a stone. Do I want stone instead? Don't really want a stone as a phrase. I've regretted too many times. Yeah, I could have also gotten a stone. Maybe I should have. The stone is not going to come back. But the thing is, the stone is not really that good right now. I mean, Astaroth would like the stone for his big stone house. Probably go for a 6-room stone house. Or bigger. Yeah, in this game, Roof Baluster gets all the stone I need. Exactly. All I need stone for the rest of the game is for building stone, renovating to a stone house. That's the only purpose I have for stone. Basket Maker's Workshop sucks with Montu's readout. Yeah, because Montu is sucking all the read out of the game at 2 food per. Montu got the stone. Stone so he can play ag well. I could take a cattle. I do need to start getting on plows. I probably should just take wood again. Take wood by reed and then build rooms one more time, because then I get another cattle to breed this harvest. Hayloft barn, what does it say? You obtain. Is harvesting obtaining? I don't think so. Obtain does include harvesting. So if we look at the card, obtain does include harvesting. Zorfix says it does work. Yeah, Sid Zlorfik says yes, so there's a forum, I guess. Like, we can look at the forum thread. May as well. Have a good night, Bengalas. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know how well this game is going. I have no idea, actually. I have no idea how well this game is going. But, glossary. Oh, this is fun. New terms. Obtain. Ooh, is obtain in here? I should maybe look through this thread again, because Slorfik's threads are pretty informative. Monty's talking shit about Astaroth building the Basket Maker's Workshop. Seaweed fertilizer. Each time after you get an unconditional sow action, you get 1 grain from the general supply. From round 11 on, you get a vegetable. Oh, fun! So you can start getting vegetables. But it's after you take it, not before. So I think we trigger our... get another 2 cattle. Or get another cattle. And then 4 food, H feeds 6. And breed cattle. So, stuff we've got. We've got remodeling. We've got milking parlor. We've got goblet. Food distributor, roof baluster, sheep keeper. We've still got some stuff to do. So the more actions there are, the more likely people are. The more food I start to get out of my food distributor. So, man, I really thought food distributor was going to be like borrower, but instead it's going to be like borrower, which you play in round 12, which is not really borrower, because the whole point of borrower is that it powers your early game. So milking parlor is now 2 wood to 5 food and a point. That doesn't seem too bad. Oh, 3 cattle. Okay, so it's actually... oh, it's more than that. It's 4 food twice. It's actually an 8 food card. Nice. Nice. Sid is going right into chat to remind Wallfly that she might have done a card wrong. There's too much going on, and I think especially because Montu and I are both streaming, we're both talking to chat. Yeah, no, Wallfly did start player after sowing, so it's fine. We're good. MP. Mixed up action order. No problem, Sid. Thank you for looking out for us. All right, so first action, probably plow. Because if I don't plow here, it's going to be like really difficult for me to get enough plows over the course of the game to not lose points on plow. And we'll steal a clay here for our work certificate. So we'll family growth milking parlor. And what else are we doing? Do we want to play remodeling? Remodeling would let us build another room. That's how much clay it would get us. You gonna play with rookie? Good luck, Sid. Montu is super salty this game about both Wallfly start player and not getting Basket Maker's Workshop. Yep. Yeah. It's been a weird game. Thing is, the game is always kind of wonky when you can't like predict what your opponents are going to do, because that's such an important aspect of this game generally, is being able to do that. Like, if imagine you had no idea, no ability to predict what your opponents are going to do, you would have no ability to plan what actions you're going to get, and then it's just like everything would come together so much worse. And I think part of where the people on this site get a lot of enjoyment out of the game is where once you get that skill, then you can start to figure out what's going to be available, and then you can start doing longer term plans and like figuring stuff out. Where I know, like playing offline with my friends who were not able to predict what was going to happen, what action spaces were important, what was going to get taken very highly. That was a really frustrating part of the game for them, was not knowing like, hey, what is going to happen, you know? Do we take 2 boar here? Or do we take 3 wood? Probably should take the wood, right? I need more wood in order to be able to hit reasonable fencing. Because I'm not getting as many plows as I thought I might this game. So yeah, while I would like to take 2 boar, I am not going to get a fencing action to hold the boar unless I also do stuff like taking wood. And I'll go ahead and buy a reed. I could buy a wood, I guess, but I would like to enable a reno action next round. I think Forest Trader is really good. I think people are undervaluing it. Like the ability to buy, I could buy a wood there for 1 food. Oh, I could have also work certificate and grabbed a clay. Not that that's super relevant, but yes, I could have. I keep forgetting. I'll do it next time. And if someone takes 4 clay, it's my own fault. It's my own fault. Yeah, imagine how slow my game would have been if I hadn't been able to buy a reed on every wood action. This game would have been way slower. There's no way I would have this much stuff, generally. So we'll go ahead and play our milking parlor, get a ton of wood, or a ton of food. Also, I never had to take a clay action after 2 clay. Oh, yeah, true. Oh, I forgot to work certificate again. Yeah, work certificate is great, yeah. Yeah, good card. Especially if you have clay miners, too. That's where I really like it. Like, you can play stuff like Outhouse. You can play stuff like, well, not Outhouse. Outhouse is not a good example, but you can play stuff like Flower Pots way easier. Reno looking really tight. Don't know if I'll get to stone. Yeah, it'll depend on who takes start player for sure. But if Wallfly takes start player, first action, round 13, like if Astaroth plow sows and Montu family grows, then Wallfly might start player, and then I get to Reno. Although I guess, yeah, I guess we're hoping that Montu Reno's here. If Montu predicts that, Montu could Reno with this move. And if Montu does that, that goes a long way to alleviating the the renovation difficulties. I gotta think that Wallfly on 2 rooms is not super interested in renovating to stone. Like, she'll go to clay for sure, but stone, I don't know. Oh man, we're an hour 50 minutes into this video already. This is gonna be a long one. Yeah, I've been pretty slow. I've been slower than usual. Usually I'm like 25 seconds per turn or less. This game I've been a bit slower. Hey, there we go. Alright, Wallfly, time to start player. And then I will follow up by renovating. And then Montu will be really angry when I play Occupation Roof Baluster. Whoa! Oh man, she plowed. Okay, so I should start player. But if I start player, then someone else will respond by renovating. So I think what I have to do is just renovate with this move. And then I can play... do I play remodeling? Probably not. I guess I can just upgrade my fireplace. And work certificate, grab a wood. Steal clay. Well, I'll steal wood for now. But yes, I can steal clay later. Yes, you're right. But yes, Potter Ceramics, yes. Do I actually have to bake before I take a bake bread action? Yes. Man, how funny would it be if I played Goblet round 13 start player? Maybe the most impactful time in the game. That would be pretty good. Oh man, no one wants to start player. The thing is, I don't want to start player either. Start player sucks. Okay, well, I think what I'll do is I'll do this. Get 3 wood and buy a reed. Just in case I get the chance to play Roof Baluster and steal work certificate, steal a clay. Just in case. And then my next action could be start player, or best case scenario, if Wallfly start players, I can play Roof Baluster. Yeah, by R. Should announce that to be polite. Make it obvious what I'm doing. So I'm pretty sure if Astaroth start players, Montu will take the 4. Well, no, not necessarily take the 4 stone. That's the thing. The 4 stone is available, so I don't even have to play Roof Baluster. I could just take the stone. We also have Food Distributor to play if I want to play it. So Montu probably should start player here. You know what's always weird about cards like Potter Ceramics? Montu plays start player storeroom. Yeah, that's a problem. Well, I have to say, Montu doesn't particularly want to fence. Like, I don't think Montu will first action fence, put it that way. So, if I show that I'm able to reno, I don't think Montu will first action fence. And Wallfly only has 4 wood, so it's hard to imagine that Wallfly's best action will be to take wood. If he's first action renoing, he will first action reno fence. That's a good point. Sorry. Not what I meant. What I meant is, it's hard to imagine that Wallfly's best move is going to be to fence 4. With only 4 wood in her supply. And she has the joinery, so definitely not. I would be really surprised if she fenced, actually. So if I don't eat sheep anymore, I can play Sheepkeeper for 3 bonus points. What did Wallfly just do? She played Occupation Stable Master. Oh, did she draft 2 copies of Stable Master? You say exactly 1. So that doesn't actually increase even if you play 2. That's funny. I didn't notice that the first when it was getting passed around. I should probably take the stone, right? Stone and work the clay. And then potentially reno fireplace first action next round. I don't know if that stone was the right move. Oh, I should buy a wood on this. Oh, no, I can't buy a wood on this stone space. Only on the clay space. Whoops. One, two, three, four, five, six. So food distributor would be 4 food and 1 grain. Montu plays man with 3 children for 4 bonus points. Nice. My last move will be... Oh, my last move is going to be Reno, right? Or Family Growth, sorry. Family Growth, nothing, it looks like. So I could play Sheepkeeper next round. That's an option. So I'll be interested to see if Wallfly decides whether Plowsow or Reno is better for her. I would assume that Plowsow is better because of her seaweed fertilizer. I would think that's got to make it more than 3 points, but hard to say. You never know. Eat. Oh, work. Whatever, it's too late. 5 food, A. Feed 9. Yeah, because if I let my sheep breed twice more, then I can play Sheepkeeper. So Montu Reno fences, alright. Wallfly's not allowed to fence, so my fence is safe. I can afford 1 more action of taking wood, which is great. So So I think Wallfly will plow sow here. If she plow sows, I should still probably take Reno here. Pretty sure Wallfly will plow sow. So then I Reno, and then I take 3 wood, and then I fence, and then I play Sheepkeeper, and then I plow, ideally. Still would like a second plow. It's worth 3 points. Yeah, no, I can't risk Reno, right? Because Wallfly will Reno if it comes back to her. So I have to gamble that plow will come back to me. Can work steal a clay. Yeah, it's 5 points. I can't risk the 5 points not coming back. 6 points, I guess. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty incomplete farm. Seems like that's the way these games go. Is that you just end up with a bunch of incomplete farms, and I wonder if that's us not predicting each other properly, us not correctly analyzing what our opponents want to do and what we need to do, what we need to prioritize, that kind of thing. So I could eat 4 sheep. Plows really help completing farms. That's true. And if the game is plow light, if the set is plow light, which is what people have been telling me, that would make a ton of sense. That makes a ton of sense. Montu says GG to me. So is 3 wood going to get taken by someone? Plow is 3 points, right? I should probably take the 3-point plow. Monty says going second all game for no effort is a good strategy. RIP. PJ Salt. That's a fun one. Yeah, the other thing I'm thinking about is that if I'm going to play Sheepkeeper, probably I just eat two cattle, right? But if I eat 2 cattle, I'm actually 1 food short. So 2 cattle is not enough. I would need 2 cattle plus something. Astaroth just took 3 wood. Man, what has Astaroth been doing this whole game? I don't get it. Well, I'll fence 10. I don't need to fence any more than 10. Fencing more than 10 would have been nice, but looks like I'm just fencing 10. No problem. Like, is Astaroth gonna build... Oh, I guess he's gonna build 2 more rooms. Oh. I guess there was a chance he blocks my fencing. But yeah, I guess Astaroth... Oh no, Astaroth is playing Soldier. Oh, I forgot about this card. Okay. Oh, interesting. I should have remembered that card. Okay, so am I going to play Sheepkeeper or not? Is it worth it? Because I need to take food, right? I could also play food distributor instead. So sheepkeeper is, I guess sheepkeeper pays for itself because it gives me 2 food. Yeah, well, sheepkeeper is 3 points and it pays for itself. The food distributor is 2 points plus extra food. So yeah, it's probably pretty good. Wildfly gonna play a plant fertilizer. Food distributor guarantee saves you a cattle, so it's at least as good as the sheepkeeper. Oh, well, if it's at least as good. Thing is, what's my last action? My last action is going to be nothing. So I kind of feel like I could take a grain and then get more points with sheepkeeper, whereas if I don't take the grain here, I probably should just take grain, right? Yeah, so I think what I'm supposed to do is take grain and then play sheepkeeper with my second move, or with my last move. And then I eat 2 cattle. Potter's Ceramics underperformed for my first pick. I guess I was really hoping for the baking course card. That card has done really well for me generally. So Astaroth is the one with the most complete farm, I would say, but doesn't have a stone house, whereas Montu and I do have stone houses. Montu's obviously got a lot of unfinished potential there. So play my sheepkeeper. Oh, breeding phase. No, breeding phase is after. Breeding phase is after field phase or feeding phase. So this card doesn't pay for itself. So I actually have to eat all my cattle. Oh man, Montu's being kind of mean to Wallfly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Feed 10, breed. Got to make sure I have room for my sheep. If I keep my cattle in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, I have room for all my sheep. All right, so I have whatever I score plus 0. Just whatever I score is my final score. So 39 final here. I don't know if that's enough to beat Astaroth. Astaroth is, yeah, pretty sure they specified field tiles for, so I'm pretty sure the field doesn't count. Monty says he has 39 as well. Yeah, 39. Yeah, 39 pretty... Eh. One. So Monty says he's got 39. Cool. Free pawn -1. Yep. Includes that. What does Astaroth have as his final? Minor does not count for scoring. Which minor are you talking about? Are you talking about the one that Montu played? Or are you talking about the field one? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does not, yeah. Because, yeah, it specifies, they changed it so that it counts field tiles, I remember having this discussion. GG. Alright, well, I tied with Montu for the win. I tied with this farm. Oh, man. Look at my farm. Yummy. Really good. No vegetable, no boar. Only one pasture. Yeah. This is a weird game. Weird game. I do have all 4 stables, but 2 of them are inside and 2 of them are outside. We're still figuring out. We're still figuring out the. Yeah, a 5-room stone house, but it only scored 39. Like, this seems low for this kind of. For a 5-room stone house, it should have. Usually I score higher, right? Sid says AG2 is so boring. I mean, it is weird. Like, these kind of farms are frustrating. Like, when you can win with 7 unoccupied spaces, like, that's kind of weird. And you have people finish with, like, 6 unoccupied spaces. I guess we're still figuring out. We're still figuring out what's going on, how to play. Yeah. Alright, well, that's going to be all for me. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed this little video. Won't stream tomorrow, maybe Thursday. But I do have a video to go up tomorrow because I didn't put up the one from Saturday. So there will be a video going up tomorrow. So look for me streaming again on Thursday. Thanks for chatting, guys. It always makes more fun. Yeah. I guess I can do a quick look at the draft. 340-574. So first pick, Roof Baluster. Pet Lover is rated higher by power, but it's the second best card by power. Well, at least these don't have stats yet, but it's also drafted lower generally. Wood Collector, probably the best card here, I would think. I'll be interested to see what the Man with 3 Children points are like. How that finishes up. Food Distributor at 1.7. Yeah, I misread this card, to put it mildly. I took Stable Milker. I think Stable Milker will end up being okay. Although it does require a lot of wood. And then Pet Broker. Soldier at 2.2 is interesting. Sheepkeeper. Sure. Yeah. Potter Ceramics at power 4. Yeah. This card looks good. Hoberg, though, is probably stronger. Drafted more than a position earlier, just slightly lower in power. And I took Work Certificate. The power of Work Certificate seems low. Over Clay Supports. There's also Beating Rod, Milking Parlor. Took Woodcart here. So Hardware Store is valued higher than Goblet. I think Goblet is interesting. I obviously didn't play it, though. I didn't have time to. Remodeling here over Renovation Company. Milking Parlor. Yeah, Milking Parlor at 3.2 for a drafted 5th on average. So it's being quite undervalued, but yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Or I'll see you on Thursday.